Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi Caroline, hi Mandy, hi Helen, hi Rachel. Rachel, you can hear me, brilliant. Okay, I had a few technical problems getting on, so hopefully we'll be all right. Hi Mandy. I'll wait for a few more people to drop in. Caroline's saying hearing me, yes, loud and clear from Alison. Hi Ellen, Happy New Year. Hi Val, hope you're okay. Have the Techo Devils gone? I think so. I kind of went live and then I did something and it dropped, so I had to come back on, so that's why I was still fiddling around closing emails and things at the beginning. Vicky's saying can hear me. Mandy's saying Ashley that Ashley, it's okay, I knew what you meant. Thea is saying a happy and healthy new year to Ashley and everyone. Brilliant. I've got a few things to show you tonight. One project. Just let you know who the winners were for the pig pong and the gift card, which was my YouTube December giveaway. I have notified the winners, but I've got a piece of paper to remind me so I can tell everybody. There was a blog post I think went live this morning about that, but I've got a quick project to make tonight, and I'm going to use one of the projects in Canvas Workspace, but I'm going to adjust it, so that's what I wanted to show you. So let me just see what everyone's saying. Lisa's saying hello Ashley and everyone, happy and blessed new year. Yes, same to you Lisa. Justine is saying hi. Charlotte, there may be some people waiting in the original room. I think I deleted it because it crashed, so they should get another notification though, so hopefully that will be fine. Let me just see what's going on here. Barbara's saying hi Ashley, happy new year. Yeah, same to you Barbara. And Sandra. Jeanette is saying good morning all, happy new year. Hi Karen, hope you're okay. Cherie is saying hi Ashley, happy new year to you. I waited up special to see you. Oh bless you Cherie. Annie's saying hi everyone. Hi Susan, hope you're okay. Right, well I can see there's about 39 people here now, so basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to start in Canvas Workspace. Hi Carmen, let me just get rid of this. So hopefully now you should be able to see my Canvas Workspace page. I think I've got everything closed down that I don't need. Charlotte's saying I'm seeing some familiar names from the other room now. Okay, great. That's good. Hopefully, as I say, I had the second notification saying I was live, so everybody else should have done as well. Hi Donna, happy new year to you. Yes, it was black space in original room. Someone turned the lights out. That was me, Justine. Oh, I love you a lot, you're great. Right, so Canvas Workspace, hopefully you're all seeing. It looks as though you are on my other screen. Alison saying happy new year Ashley and everyone. May it be a better than, definitely hope it's got to be better than 2020. Right, Canvas Workspace, it's called Foiled New Year's Card. Should be able to see it here on my screen where the hand is. Okay, I'm just going to select this project. And I don't know if any of you have actually used this design or if you've looked at it, but basically if you have a look along the bottom here, you can see there's a mat A, B, C. Then if you click on this arrow, there's a D, E, F. So like 6 mats. And if you watch the video, Love My Tools is saying, yay, I found you. Great. Hi, Patricia, hope you're okay. Happy New Year to you too. Hi, Marcia. Yeah, you're saying found me as well. Okay, I'm guessing maybe did you go to the one that went live and then instantly went dead? Anyway, there's 41 of you here now, so hopefully you're all finding me. Rachel's saying you changed it for a birthday card. Okay, well, I'm going to change it ever so slightly, and that's what I want to show you. So basically, as I said, there's like A through to F mats. And if you watch their video, obviously not now while I'm live, but afterwards, if you watch their video, you'll see that the way they make this card is, I think, a bit of a faff, to be honest. And I want to make at least 2 of these cards, so I wanted to make it simpler. So the way that I'm going to use it, I'm going to use mat B, which is the banner design. So I'm going to select on that and say OK, and that's the banner design I'm going to use. But I'm just going to go back to Canvas Workspace. I've actually got this all saved. In fact, let's close that. I've actually got this all saved in my projects here, but I wanted to show you how I did it. So let's just go back to the project. So I want mat B and then mat C and mat D. They're the only 3 mats I'm going to use. Susan is saying 3rd attempt to get in. Happy New Year, folks. Susan, you've been here before. I saw your message earlier. Did you go out? I don't know. I saw your message earlier. So let's just go back. So the main mat that I want to change is mat C. So I'm going to open mat C, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it as, I'm just going to come up here to the top left, and I'm just going to leave it as C and save it into my projects. Okay, then I'm going to go back to Canvas Workspace, back to the New Year's design, and I'm going to go to mat D and open mat D. And then I'm just going to do the same thing up in the top left here, just going to get rid of all those, save mat D, say OK. So now when I go to my projects, those 2 mats are here. So I'm going to bring on the first mat, so you can see I've got all these elements. So the next thing I did, this was just my process to make my card. So I'm just showing you my process. I've already sent it all over to the machine. I've got it saved in the machine. I'm going to pull it back up in a few minutes, and then I'm going to make the project. But I just wanted to show you the process I went through. So I came to the basic shapes and I just got myself a square. And then my card base, the front of my card, is approximately, oh, I know what I need to do. I've changed the units in my machine. So I need to go to, where do I go? I can't remember where it is. Here we go. Need to go back to inches. So the front of my card base is about 5.75 high, and it's about 4 inches or thereabouts wide. This is just a visual aid for me for the front of my card. Okay, now as I say, if you watch their video, they cut this and they cut this, and then they cut the card and they layer it up all on top, and I think they make it into a shaker card, and then they kind of fiddle about using this bit as a positioning to put a greeting with a pen or a glue, the foil kit or something like that. But I don't want to do all that. I can't be bothered. It's too much faff. So this is the main bit I want. But as you can see, there's a big hole in the middle, and I don't want that. I want these circles at the top, but I want this to be a solid unit. So I'm going to come over to the basic shapes, and I'm going to drag myself a triangle, and I'm just going to rotate it so it's kind of at the angle that this one is here. It might be better if I fill it with a colour. You might be able to see it better. Just fill it with red for now. So can you see I've got this shape that I'm going to put over this hole. So I'm just going to rotate it so it covers that hole, but it needs to stay within the boundary of this black area. Didn't know what happened here. Now all good. Ashley, I've had a real problem this week with Canvas Workspace for PC. I can't create any text. The box just disappears. After you click text, I update my Mac to Big Sur a while ago. Have you had any problems? Mandy, there's a known problem with Mac Big Sur and the Canvas Workspace for computer. When you log in to Canvas Workspace, there's been, since October last year, there's been a message coming up telling you that there's a problem with it. If you've updated to Big Sur, then you'll either have to uninstall Big Sur and go back to the operating system that was before it, which is what I'm still using. When I read that message back in October, I went into my Mac and I turned off automatic updates because I didn't want it to do the update to Big Sur until the problem has been resolved. So that's why you're having problems. It's a known issue to Brother and they are working on it. Okay, let's go back to this. So I've got this red triangle that's covering up this hole, okay? I'm going to select both of these, so the black element that you can see on screen and the red triangle. The red triangle has to be on top, okay? With both of these just selected, I'm going to go to Edit and Weld, and that's now filled in that hole, and that's what I want. So this element here, I'm going to cut in gold. Well, it's a kind of champagne colour actually, mirror board. This layer here, I'm going to cut in black. So I'm just going to fill that in with black just so you get more of a visual idea. And that's going to sit on top. These bits here, I don't need because I've got the holes now within this card. Like I say, if you go and watch the Brother video, it'll kind of make a bit more sense, but I don't need them. So I'm going to get rid of them. The stars, I only need a couple, so I think I deleted most of these and I can't remember how many I used, but you'll see the file in a minute. As I say, I sent it over. I'm just going to grab both of these and I'm going to I'm just going to right click and bring this to the front and position this on here and rotate it, because that's kind of how I want it. But remember, this is bigger than the front of my card, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to right click both of these elements and I'm going to group them. And I'm going to shrink it down until it looks as though it's going to fit nicely on the front of my card. So can you see what I'm doing? So this white area here is just a representation of my base card. I'm not going to cut this. These two elements I'm going to cut, and I'm going to cut the champagne glass, which is going behind again, so I need to bring it to the front. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to shrink it down so it now fits on this smaller layer. So it's kind of going to look something like that, okay? Then I'm just going to go back to my projects and I'm just going to bring in the whole design I've already saved because I want the banner. So I'm going to get rid of everything else. I'm going to get rid of all these stars for now because, like I say, I've already saved them. And I'm going to bring this banner over and just see that at the size it is already by default, it's going to look, let's get rid of that champagne glass because that's from the other design. So this was kind of the process that I went through. Patty H is saying, just hopped on to say hello. I will catch up later, visiting my parents at the moment. No worry, Patty, that's fine. It should be recording, so you should be able to watch it later. Mandy G is saying, oh, okay, thanks for that, Ashley. Had to update as my Mac crashed, died. Oh, no, thanks for clarifying. Okay, yeah, it's, as I say, it's been there since about October. Every time you log in on the download, it's been popping up with a message. I think it was on the online version as well, and it was telling you that there was going to be a problem. So for anybody that's got a Mac, if you've not updated to Big Sur, don't do it yet if you want to carry on using the Canvas Workspace for computer version, because if you update to Big Sur, you won't be able to use it, you'll have problems. Okay, so this was kind of like the process I went through. So once I knew that everything was going to fit on my base card, I deleted my base card and then I ungrouped these two layers and I kept some of the stars, and as you can see here on the left, this was the file I saved and then sent over to my machine. So I'm going to go over to my ScanNCut machine now. I'm going to flip you over. I think it's gone to sleep, but hopefully now I'm going to retrieve the file and then I'm going to show you how I cut it and how I assembled it all. So are there any questions with that so far before I go over to my next desk? Just having a quick drink of my juice. I'm just going to have to take that over to my other desk as well. Right, I'm going to flip the camera over to my ScanNCut machine, but as I say, I think it's gone to sleep. So now I just need to swap desks. So just bear with me for a minute. Let's try and wake my machine back up. Linda Lee is saying excellent. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that's for, but hopefully that means everything's okay. Right, let's just bring in some bits and pieces on my desk. So I tell you what I'll do, I'll just flip you back to the overhead for now, and I'll show you the one I've already made. Lisa's saying got it. So this is the one. Let me see if I can zoom in. So this is the one I've already made, okay? So basically this is my white card. This was A4 piece of card cut in half on the short side. Vicky, the text on the banner is a draw, but I'm going to use the foil because I think that's how they use it. So yeah, it's assigned as a draw and a cut, and you could either draw it with the pen or use the foil, which is what I've done here. So if I put this down, in fact, let me just move that mat. Let's see if you can see this any better. I'll try and zoom you in a bit more. Okay, so this white section here, was the 5 1/4 by 4 that I used as a guide for the base of my card in Canvas Workspace a few minutes ago. The champagne coloured layer here, which you can just see behind the black, was the kind of goldy colour on screen. Then this black layer is the layer that I welded out the hole, okay? And then obviously here's the champagne flute, which I've cut in glitter card. Here's the banner, which has got the foil Happy New Year on it. And here are the stars. And the circles I left in that layer in Canvas. Okay, so basically I wanted to try and simplify the design. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to go through all the steps that they do in that Canvas Workspace project. So let me just see, I can see, do we have any idea when the software will be updated so we can use text again on MacBooks? No, Heather, you're just going to have to keep looking. They'll tell you when it's been rectified, I'm guessing. As I say, at the moment, every time you log in, you should get a box that tells you that there's a Big Sur issue. And I'm guessing that when they've rectified it, that message will either go away or it will be changed. Okay? So this is it, and it's a lot simpler. Right, I'm just going to zoom you back out, and then I'm going to flip you to the ScanNCut screen now. I just need to get my spatula and say OK. Right, I'm going to go to retrieve data. Now, as I said, I've already sent this over a couple of days ago, and I retrieved it and I saved it into the machine. So if you were just sending yours straight over now, you'd go retrieve from Canvas. I'm going to go retrieve from the machine because I've retrieved it and saved it. Justine, Big Sur is the operating system for Mac. It's the latest one, but I'm on the one before. Can't remember what it's called now. Can't remember which one I'm on. But you know, like you have Windows, is it 10 and 7 and all that kind of thing? Mac give their operating systems different names. Is it Catalina? That I'm on the one before Big Sur. Anyway, Big Sur's the one that's literally just coming at the back end of last year, but I'm on the one before it. Okay, hope that helps there. Right, so I'm going to jump to the last page and find my design. So it's here. So I'm just going to, hopefully you can see, I'll try and zoom you in a little bit more. And I'm just going to try and move the camera so you've not got that glare from my overhead lights. It's okay, Justine, that's fine. They just all have silly names. I can't remember them all. I think that there was one called, was it Lion and Catalina and all sorts of different things. Justine saying, I bought a Mac last summer. Yes, I'm on Catalina. Okay, well, if you're still on Catalina, you'll be fine. You'll be able to use Canvas Workspace for computer. If your Mac asks you to update its operating system, don't do it just at the moment, okay? If it's done it automatically and you are on Big Sur, then if you go and try and use Canvas Workspace for computer, you will have problems with it, okay? Right, let's go back to this. So I've got all my elements here on screen, which hopefully you should be able to see. I'm going to try and zoom you in a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to say okay. I'm not going to cut the banner at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into edit, choose the banner and just send it to the bin for now. I don't need this element at the top here, so I'm going to use the arrows Vicky's saying sounds like bits of California surfing areas. Okay, what, the Apple operating names? I can't remember all the different names they've had now, but I know Big Sur is the latest. Right, so I'm going to select that because I don't need that, because I sent it over thinking I was going to use it, and then when I realised I'd already left the holes in, I thought I don't need those bits to put, because the brother project, they use those what look like clouds to go behind these holes, but I'm using my gold as a matting layer, so they're going to come through anyway. So what I did, these stars, I dragged them in to the middle of this. Do you find sometimes that you can't get a hold of the little things on your screen? I do. So I sometimes just have to use the arrows to manoeuvre them around. So what I'm going to do, this element here is going to cover up this element. So I might as well make use of the space behind for these stars to cut out of. The little champagne flute I'm going to cut in glitter card. So I'm going to do these three elements hopefully first, and then I'm going to go back and do the foil and the banner. Okay, so let's just flip you back to my desk. Cherie's saying, can you not operate a Mac in the same way you can Windows? Not sure what you mean. I have a laptop PC I can still use until Apple fix it, thanks. Okay, that's great. As I say, if you've not updated, you won't have a problem. It's only if you've done the update, the Apple update. Right, let me bring in, I've got my bits and pieces because I was trying to get a bit organised when I did this in the week. So here's my white base card, which was A4, which I chopped down the middle on the 8 1/4 side. I've scored it and folded it ready, okay? This bit is going to be for my banner, so I'm just going to pop that on one side. This gold glimmer card I'm going to use for the champagne flute. The black is for the black layer, and then this is a piece of champagne foil card. This is all Stampin' Up, by the way. I think the gold glimmer card may be retired now. Heather P is saying, what quality / weight glitter card is best for ScanNCut? Right, okay, Heather, I don't cut glitter card on my machine at all, other than the Stampin' Up one. And the reason I use theirs, although I'm not sure what colours are available at the moment, we might not have any glimmer card available. It's lightweight. The glitter doesn't kind of come off it, and it's not rough. If you use glitter card, the kind that you normally buy in your craft shops or online, we've discussed this before, it's basically, think of it like coloured sandpaper, so it's going to dull your blade, okay? So that's why I tend not to use it. So the only one I tend to use on my machine is the ones that Stampin' Up sell. This is more like a paper or a very lightweight card, and as I say, this is like very flat. It's not coarse, it's not harsh. Yeah, I've used the gold, the silver, the pink and the blue, and I can't remember whether we still do the gold and silver or whether we've only got the foil board at the moment. The pink is retired, the balmy blue was just for Christmas, that's just retired, but I've still got a couple of sheets of the gold and silver, so I'm just using it up. So these are the three elements I'm going to try and cut at once, and then I'm going to come back to this piece, and this is going to have the foil greeting on it and cut out. And as for weight, Heather, this is all Stampin' Up. So on my website, applelover53.co.uk, if you go to the Stampin' Up tab, I think it says resources or free resources. If you click on that tab, there's a PDF document, I think there is, from memory. I think it's a PDF document that tells you what the gram weight is of all the Stampin' Up paper and cardstock. So hopefully that will give you an idea. Right, I'm just going to bring my mat in. Let me just see if I can zoom you out anymore. I think you might be fully zoomed out. So I'm going to put the black piece of card up on the top right hand side because that's where that element is on my machine mat. I'm going to put the piece of gold in the top left and the champagne foil down here in the bottom right, only because that's where the elements are on my screen, and it'll just, you know, I might have to still manoeuvre them, but at least I'm not moving them all over the screen. Right, let me see what you're saying. Is the gold glimmer paper Stampin' Up? It's all Stampin' Up, Marcia, all of it, but I don't know whether the glimmer card is still available. I can't remember. The foil is, but I can't remember about the gold and silver. I know the pink and the blue have retired. I have a feeling these might have done as well. I think we might only have the rainbow at the moment. Justine saying, I have used Pink Frog Crafts non-shed glitter card. Okay, so long as it's not coarse and so long as it's not shed, then you could try it. But just remember, it can either break the tip of your blade or dull your blade. Okay, so just make sure you have a spare blade just in case. When I had my CM900 and 600, what I used to do when my blades got dull, I used to keep them in one of the little plastic containers that the blades came in, and I put on them old blade with a Sharpie, and if I was ever using any, you know, glitter card or glitter paper that I was kind of happy that I could cut it with my machine, I would cut it with an old blade. So Justine's saying it's not gritty. Okay, that's fine. Barbara's saying, I think they may call it encapsulated glitter card on other sites. Yes, some do. This, I can't explain the Stampin' Up one. It just feels very flat and very, it's like that microfine glitter, if that kind of helps anybody understand what it is I'm using, not the coarse chunky stuff that you kind of see in most places. Heather's saying brilliant. Alison is saying I have no problem with tonic or Crafter's Companion Specialist card. Okay, well that's good to know as well, Alison. Thank you. Right, let's flip you back to the machine. I'm going to load this mat. And I'm going to say, okay, okay, and I'm going to do a background scan and start. And I'm just going to rub these down as they're going through, just so that I know that they're stuck, because I'm not sure how sticky this mat is anymore. I think we'll be okay. So as you can see, I'm nearly kind of spot on with my positioning. I'm going to move this base, and then I just need to move these over, these little stars, because these are going to cut out, remember, from this section. Let's just see. Just want to move them down ever so slightly. Okay. So Justine's saying she would only use an old blade as well. Yeah, that's what I always used to do. Just keep an old blade in a container, write on it dull or old, something like that. And then just use it if you're cutting. I've actually got a brand new blade, so I'm okay if this, you know, did happen to damage while I was cutting the glitter card, then I've got a spare blade. But the card I showed you before was cut with this same blade, so and I've cut a couple of other things since, so hopefully we should be okay. Right, so I'm going to set this off and just cut these elements. I'm going to say okay, okay, select, cut, and hope that, oh, I'm just going to go into turn half cut off because I was cutting some vinyl earlier. So we don't want the half cut on. I'm going to say start, and I'm just going to, as I say, rub these down. Just try and move you a little bit so you can see a little bit of what's going on. Although I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. Move you down. Okay. I'm just going to keep my eye on this for a minute and then I'll catch up with the comments. I think we should be okay. This seems to be stuck fairly well. It's just this piece of foil at the bottom I'm just a bit more concerned about because it was hanging off the bottom of the mat. Hopefully if I keep rubbing it down it won't move. Okay, that's done. I'm going to flip you back to the desk and bring the mat in for now. And then I'll just see what you're saying. Sandra's saying, I have found some glitter card needs a couple of cuts as it's like has even made a couple of layers. And yes, I think it is. I think it's kind of like I think you're right, it's a bit like foil board. I think that's the same, that's a couple of layers as well. But hopefully this should be okay. So, don't think I can zoom you out anymore, but hopefully you can see what's going on. So here's the glimmer board, and here is, if I put it on the black, you should be able to see it better, but you'll see it clearer when I start assembling it. So that's my first element. This is the second element that I welded that shape out of, if you remember. This is my foil card, and that's going to go over there, so that's why I was using this. And I wonder if I can turn that round because I managed, yeah, there you go. Because where I've got this star positioned here, it's just showing through one of the holes in here, so I'll just turn it round. So now you'd never know that I've cut those out of the back, and yet I've got the champagne layer showing through. So there are the start of my elements. Here are my stars. Now I may not use all these stars. I may put some more little rhinestones on the design on the next one, but we'll see in a minute, we'll compare. I'm just going to pop them all on my desk for now. So I just need to get rid of these bits of circles now because they're rubbish. So I'll just put them all on my desk for now, out of the way. Let me just see what you're saying. So Justine's saying, I've not crafted since early December, but hoping some mojo returns soon. I need to play with my machine. Okay, Justine, well, let's hope we can get your mojo back. Barbara's saying I'm the same, just got in back in situ and think Ashley will get me going again. Oh, great. Well, try this card. Send a card to somebody to say Happy New Year. You know how to do it now in Canvas, the easy way, without going through all the steps that Brother did with theirs. But I think, from memory, I think theirs is a shaker card. But if you don't want to do a shaker card, then, you know, this is an easier way to do it. Right, where's that bit of grey? So, I've got this piece of grey now. This is going to be for the banner and the greeting. So I'm just going to rub it down. I'm going to put this back into the machine. I'm going to foil the greeting and then get the machine to cut it out. Okay, so we'll load this back into the machine. I'm going to hit the home button, say it's okay to delete all patterns. I'm going to go back to retrieve data from the machine because that's where my design is. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to just click on one. In fact, let's see if we can. I'm having trouble getting this banner, which is kind of in the top left. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to use the arrows just to move it out of the way for a minute. Okay, then I'm going to select one element that I don't want, go to the 3 red boxes, choose the arrow and then just get those so that it's going to select all those, say okay, delete. Yes, it's okay to delete. Get rid of that layer because I don't need it. Now I've just got the layer that I want. So I'm going to say okay, do a background scan again. So Justine's saying, I'm one for no faff. Yeah, same. Like I say, when you get some time, go and have a look at that video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But when I watched it, I thought, oh no, that's too many steps. I don't want to be doing all that. Justine's saying, my cat bought me the We Are Memory Keeper foil quill set for New Year. Oh, fab. Okay. What a good kitty. Yeah. I used my rhinestone kit for the first time after last week's session. Brilliant. Well done, Mandy. Vicky saying, I needed an idea for a New Year's card. This will help. Great, Vicky. Right, let's drag this onto here. Okay. I'm going to say, okay, select, and I'm going to foil. So I'm going to choose the foil. I just need to get my foil in. Let's flick you back in case anybody didn't see me do this last week. My foil holder, my foil glue pen, and I need one of those little burnishing ends, which is in my drawer here somewhere. Okay, one of these little plastic burnishing tips that come with it. So the first thing I'm going to do, just in the corner of my mat, I'm just going to test my glue pen to make sure it's running, and I'm only doing it in the corner so that I don't go and stick my card on it. Okay, so if you didn't see me do this, was it last week or the week before, the glue pen has numbers on it and my glue is in the section 2. So in a minute, when I go back to the screen, that's what I'm going to have to choose. But I'm going to put the glue pen in the holder. So you press the silver plunger, you pop the pen in so you can see the numbers, is my recommendation. And then you push it until it clicks. And you'll physically hear the click, okay? I'm going to swap you back to the machine. I'm going to take my blade out. Can you see? And I'm going to put the glue pen in and lock it in. Okay. Then I'm just going to bring you back to the screen. And this now is why it's handy to have your numbers on your pen at the front so you can see. So I know I'm in the glue section number 2. So this is the number here. So you click the arrow until it goes to whatever number you are. If you're down to 3 or 4, then that's how you set it here. So now I can say OK. And now I can hit start. And this is going to go through and it's going to draw, with a bit of luck, the greeting in the glue. Okay, now it looks okay, but the H, I'm not sure, you're probably not going to be able to see this. No, you're not. I'll just move you back. The H doesn't look as though it's written fully. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say OK, select and glue again and start, and just let it do that first letter and see. It might just be there's a bump on my piece of card. I'm not sure. I'm going to, in fact, I'll let it do the whole thing. We'll see what happens. And that's why I tested my pen at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to say OK. I don't know how well you're going to get to see this. I'll try and bring you down. Can't find the piece of card. There's the piece of card, but I can't get the arm of the, there you go. You're only just going to see it in the corner. Try and move you back a little bit. Right, so what I need now is a piece of foil, which I've got in my folder, and you have to wait for the glue to go clear. It goes on like a pale blue. And the H isn't that great, so I don't know whether I might try and draw it in. I'm going to take the pen out of the holder and just see if I can draw that line in faintly. Might make a bit of a mess of this, but you never know. Right, I'm going to put the lid back on my glue pen because I don't need that anymore, and I'm just going to wait for that blue now to go clear like everything else. So I might just give it a bit of a waft, and then I can just come back to your comments while that's drying. So let's see. Thea's saying need to go, we'll watch later. Monica is saying, have you used the We Are Memory Keepers foil quilt? No, Monica, I haven't. I don't have it. I've only been using the brother one that you use with the, you know, the wet glue pen. But I believe it's okay. So Justine's saying it was because of Ashley's foiling live. I asked Gizmo to note it down. Good Gizmo. At least he listens. Cherie's saying, approximately how many designs did you get from number 1 portion of the pen? Just asking to get an idea if I need to have a spare pen on hand. Cherie, I really don't know. I think basically anything I've showed in any of the lives when I've used it. I think virtually everything I've drawn it, you know, used to draw it with, I've probably shown. So I'm not really sure. That's not, you know, a very good answer, I'm afraid. But not yet, Monica. Waiting on crafty time. Only arrived last Thursday. That's Justine. Hi, Mikkel. Hope you're okay. Don't worry about being late. It should be recorded. Looks as though it's still recording. I have Memory Keepers foil quill. It works well, but one advantage of Brother Foiling Kit is ability to apply glue. Then instead of foiling, apply embossing powder. Yeah, I did try that as well. You know, when we discussed it, when somebody said, could you draw with the pen? and then emboss it. I did, and I'll show you. I've only got 2 designs, but I will quickly flick you back and I'll show you these. I did a snowflake, not sure how well you're going to see it. This was drawn, this is a design in the machine, so this was drawn with the glue pen, and then I threw silver embossing powder on it and heat set it, and I did one of the Mickey Mouse designs that's in the machine. Same thing, drew it with the glue pen, took it off the machine, threw embossing powder on it and embossed it. So I know somebody asked about that last time, and I did say I would try it. Right, this looks as though it might be dry now. Let's hope I've not left it too long to dry. So I'm going to put a piece of foil over the top. Okay, you should still be able to see what I'm doing, hopefully. Bring in the piece of plastic that they give you, and I'm just going to tape it down to my mat with these 2 bits of washi tape that I just keep on this mat. Let me just see if there's anything else I've missed. Is there a glue pen and holder for the CM900? I think you can use this on the CM900. I don't think this is just an auto blade thing. If you go to makersuperstore.com and go and read the details in there, I can't remember, it will tell you, but I have a feeling you can. Somebody will know, somebody will answer your question in a minute. So let me see what Barbara's saying. If you do a lot of letters with the infill function on, you will get through the glue quicker. Yeah, obviously. That does make sense. Brain freeze, sorry, about the duplicate post. Good idea, Susan. Note to Gizmo, Mummy needs both. Right, so this is what you need this for now. So I've taken the glue pen out. I'm just going to dump that in the end, and then I'm going to pop this into the machine. Like so. Sorry I'm moving you about a lot tonight, but it's because there's all different things that I need you to see. Okay, so now I'm going to go to please select, and I'm going to go to foil, which is number 2. So foil number 1 is the glue, and now we're going to do the burnishing. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. And you can see it's got all dark blue lines across it now, and basically that's where this kind of plastic embossing stylus, I suppose, for want of a better word, is going to go over the design. So I'm going to say start. Ooh. There you go, can you see it just going backwards and forwards? I'm just going to do it again. So I'm going to say OK on the machine, please select, foil, OK, and start. It does it that quick. You're kind of going to miss it, but basically that's all it's doing. It's just going backwards and forwards over this plastic sheet, and it's burnishing the foil down onto the card. So I'm going to say OK and unload and bring you back to my desk. And then I can take everything else out of the machine now and put all these away because I've finished with them. And I've just remembered I need to cut, so I'm going to put it back into the machine. I'm not moving the design on the screen, I'm just going to load the machine. I actually did this same thing the other day, so you think I would have remembered. I'm going to remove the plastic sheet, just put my washi tape back on here. So hopefully, let's go back to the machine. So basically I've just reloaded the mat and I'm going to remove the plastic sheet and the foil, and that will leave my piece of card behind because obviously I need to cut it now, but I'll show you the rest of it in a minute up close when I've just done this bit. As I say, I did forget to do this bit the other day as well. So what I need to do now is hopefully, because I know I've removed the mat, but because I've not removed the design on my screen, hopefully it will cut around it and the banner words should still be fairly in the right place. So I'm going to say select, cut, I've put my blade back in and start. Right, I've missed loads of comments, I'm sure I have, so I'm sorry. Just let me get this out and then I'll go back and see what you're all saying. Is there a glue pen holder? Right, okay, I've answered that one. Note to Gizmo, we've got that. I bought mine for the CM900 originally. Yeah, okay, I thought it did. I'm sure the glue pen works. The foiling kit, I'm sure, works with both CM and DX machines, but some of the accessories don't, and I just get confused which does and which doesn't anymore. So let's bring you back to the desk. I'm going to just put the machine out of the way, just close the ScanNCut machine down now for a minute, just to get it out of the way to give me a bit more room on my desk. So we should be back to my desk view now. I've got the sticker starter kit, don't know about foiling, okay. Yeah, I've done videos on the sticker kit. You can use the foiling on all models, there you go, Monica's answered that, that's great. Do you need a special activation card? You're welcome, I was told all the kits can be used across the whole ScanNCut range. Not all the kits work on all the machines, so like the vinyl blade and activation only works with the machines with the SDX. The fabric blade and fabric mat only work with the SDX. Yeah, that's what Monica's saying. I think it would be easier to do the burnishing by hand. It might be, I don't know, could try it. Right, let's get this off here. Just want to get the mat out of the way to give me a bit of room. So, not sure how well you'll see this. Okay, can you see it? So what I'm going to do, when you get your foiling kit, you get this little silicone thing, for want of a better word. And then if you just go over the letters, it will bring off any of the foil that has been kind of burnished down, but not on the glue. So if I try and zoom you in, that might be easier than trying to hold it up. Not sure how well you'll see this now, but in between the P and the A and the R, the foil had gone in there. They looked solid a few minutes ago when I showed you, but that's silicone, but there's no glue in those areas. So by using that silicone rubber eraser thing, it just lifts the foiling away from where you don't need it. Try and put it on my hand and see. camera would be a good. Which way do I need to come? There you go. Can you see? It's just taken the bits of foil out of the middles of the letters. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you back out. And it's just going to be a case of assembling. Vicky, I'd be afraid of missing spots, Charlotte's saying, and not burnishing, excuse me, I'm trying to get my chair organised, not burnishing hard enough. Susan is saying you cannot get an even pressure burnishing by hand, but I have run it through my die cutting machine. I think burnishing on the ScanNCut works best. Something else I was just going through my head thinking about it. What about if you used a brayer over it? I wonder if that would give you any more kind of even pressure. You know, a firm brayer, not one of the foam spongy type ones. You know, one of the like solid ones that people kind of use for burnishing the card down onto the mat. That might work better. So have I missed a comment? Is somebody asking about an activation card? Is that for the foiling? I think it does because there's designs in Canvas, isn't there? Let me just see if I've got my card handy. I've got all my cards here, but I don't know whether I've got foiling. Yeah, it comes with a card with an activation number. So that means there'll be designs in Canvas that you can use with it. So yes, it does come with an activation card. Mandy's saying looks good. Mikelle's saying a semi-soft paintbrush would work too for taking away the excess foiling. Yeah, probably. It's just that you get this with the kit. It comes on this little card and you just stick it on. So trying to get it back in my drawer now. I've got that much stuff in this section. Right, let's burnish with a rolling pin. Okay, right, so let's do this and see what happens. So this is going to stick to this first of all. Right, I'm just going to use some wet glue for this. And I'm going to stick this over there. And it's going to go through onto my scrap. So let's bring a bit of scrap in because I don't want my things sticking to the mat in a minute. So I'm just going to put that on there for now and just hold it for a few seconds because it's going on the foil. Val's saying it looks nice and sparkly. It is. Okay, so let's get rid of that for a minute. This is going to stick on the front of the card. So if you didn't want to do the foiling, you could draw the greeting. That's going to go on there. But if you've got the foiling kit and you want to do the foiling, do that, or leave this element off your design altogether and, you know, stamp something, whatever. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you the process I went through in making this card, but just by simplifying the brother design. Just want to try and zoom you in a bit more so that hopefully you can see it a bit better. So this is going to go on here now. So I'm just going to bring in some bits of dimensionals because I'm just going to pop this one up a little bit. So I'm going to use just the kind of end strips of my dimensionals because they're a bit thinner. thank you, Vicky. So Vicky's saying, please remember to give me a thumbs up. That's nice of you. So just going to put a few, these are so tiny, but I just want to I want to just kind of give this a little bit of dimension. I'm using the black dimensionals because I'm using black card. And I'm just using the end bits just because they're like little thin strips. Might have to cut. Oh, I've got one there that might do. I mean, it's only going onto the front of the card. It should hold. Okay, so I'll peel these off. Caroline, that's fine. Thanks for being here. Sandra's saying a frugal crafter through and through. I forget to gut like you have. Well, it was just because it's foil, you know, and it's too nice to waste, really. Right, that's going to go on there. Then you've got the banner, and obviously it's got score lines in it, 2 on one side and 2 on the other. So the nearest one to the words goes back, and the one furthest away comes forward. Okay, so you fold one back and one forward, and that then just gives that a little bit of dimension when it's sat on there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just on these ends, because that's the bit that's going to be stuck to the card. So I'm just going to pop that on there like so. Just going to press it down and hold it for a few minutes. And then obviously, because I left the holes in the top of the black piece, the foil section is showing through. And that's why I didn't need to cut that extra section that's in the ScanNCut file. Okay, so now let's bring this one in. I used some of the stars and and I put a couple of rhinestones in this one. So so I'm thinking to do the same. So if I just bring in some rhinestones, and I'll pop some of these like bubbles in the bottom. And then I'll put a couple of the stars, and I'm going to use my mini black dimensionals on the back of the stars, because these are only small. Sandra's saying, yeah, I've got that one. Where do you purchase dimensionals? I sell them in my online shop. These are all Stampin' Up products. So I'm going to pop those there, and then I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this big one, and I'll still use a dimensional just in the middle, and I'll pop that one kind of like that. Let's just clear my desk up. So I don't know if I'm going to use those other stars on this one. I might just stick with those. Let's get my gluey scissors out of the way. So there they are. So that's the one I'd already pre-done with the different, well, it's the same stars, but I've just used more of them. I suppose I could put another one down here. Let's do this. And then this is the one I've just made with you. And I showed you the process of how to make the design a little bit more simplified in Canvas Workspace. So what do you think? And I've got a couple of things to show you before I go. Lovely card, I'm a newbie and need supplies. Must get them dimensionals. They're brilliant. So we do them in packs of white or black, Justine. So the white ones you can buy in the big ones or the small ones, and the black ones come as a mixed pack, big and small. Ellen's saying, what was the little gadget you used for the rhinestones? Oh, it's my take your pick tool. It's this, Ellen. But basically what I've done, I use just the end and I keep just an end in here. I've just actually given 2 of these away to customers in December. That was a Stampin' Up offer I had on in December. But this is just the end. It has like a putty end on it and it just helps you pick up any small bits. It doesn't have to be rhinestones. It can be, you know, small bits of card or that kind of thing. And again, I sell these in my shop. Linda Lee's saying, I love it, very nice, love these. So there are my 2 New Year's sparkly cards with my foil greeting and, you know, some foil designs. So let me just clear these bits of rubbish away. What did I want to tell you about? Oh yeah, so in the month of December, let me zoom out. I had a giveaway on my blog and YouTube channel, and it was for subscribers to my YouTube channel, and I was offering two prizes, 2 gifts, one for UK customers and one for anybody else in the world. So everybody was asked to complete the form, which a lot of you did, and the UK winner was Joyce Gilson, and she's got a £25 credit gift card to use and spend on Maker Superstore website. I have contacted the winners, but I'm just letting everybody know in case any of you entered that are on here. And the worldwide giveaway was won by a lady called Janine Gramshaw in Australia, and she got the Pig Pong activation card, the lettering collection. Okay, so they were drawn on the 1st of January at random. There is a blog post showing how that I drew them randomly and showing you the names that correspond to the number that was drawn for each giveaway. So that's that. And then, I've been doing a few things with heat transfer vinyl. So I cut some more today. And this, I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. This is blue heat transfer vinyl. It's not showing up the sparkle on there. But this is a cutting file that I've made today. I've got bits of dimensional stuck all over me. And this says 2021, it has to get better, right? Okay, so that's something I've done with heat transfer vinyl today. It's not showing you how sparkly it is. But if you watched the other day when I did the rhinestones, I also showed you the heat transfer vinyl kit that I bought. So that's the blue that was in that kit. So I think that's it. They look lovely, Ashley, lovely, love them. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you, Ashley. I must go as the dog needs. Yeah, your dog needs walking, doesn't he? Congrats to the winners. Congrats. Great shirt, Charlotte's saying. Right, has anybody got any questions? Oh, and one thing I just wanted to say. If you're going to be getting into heat transfer vinyl and you make a design and you're not sure whether it's going to cut well or not, a tip from me, which I posted on Instagram earlier today, is draw the design out first and then it'll give you an idea. So I drew this design out and it looked as though the lettering in this set of words might be very, very small and thin. So I was glad I did, really, because I was able to then go back to my design in Canvas and inflate the font a bit so that I could cut it and it cut better. And that was without having to waste any vinyl because I did it all in paper, on paper first. So I drew it and that kind of gives you a visual aid. What font is that you've used? Oh my days, is it Clarista or Estina? I can't remember. I made the design a couple of days ago, but I've only just cut it. Thank you once more, Ashley. Everything is beautiful. Oh, thank you, Patricia. You're welcome. And thanks for shopping with me, Patricia. That is amazing vinyl sweatshirt. Great HTV. Yeah, it's the HTV I showed recently, and I showed you all the colours, and if you were with me, I did say I liked the blue, so I've cut the blue today. Val saying congratulations to the winners. Yeah, I don't know if any of them are on here, to be fair, at the moment, but I have messaged both of them. The lady in Australia's got her pig pong, I sent it to her, and the lady in the UK, I have paid for the gift card through Makers, and I'm just waiting for them to confirm that they've emailed it out to her. Linda Lee's saying inflate the font. I need to do that, thank you. Yeah, you need to do it on certain fonts. I mean, some fonts are great for writing, but if you're going to start using vinyl, you need to look at them first. So that's why I sent mine over to the machine, drew it, and then when I looked at it, it did look quite thin, and I thought, I'm not sure how well that's going to cut. So I just inflated the line of text, not the numbers obviously because they're bigger. Heather's saying, I just bought the calligraphy kit from Makers. Have you done any videos on it? Yes, earlier on last year, Heather. It was a YouTube live, so it'll be in the live playlist. Susan is saying, thank you, Ashley. Inspiration as always. Stay safe. Yes, same to you and Happy New Year. Rachel's saying, thank you. Charlotte's saying, good start to the new year. Love the heat transfer vinyl. I'm going to be doing more projects with it. I'm actually getting a little bit hooked. Do Stampin' Up do discounts on ink? Yes, Justine. If you mean ink pads, you can buy a colour family, and I think there's 10 colours in a family, and you pay for 9. And I can't remember if the ink refill bottles they do in you know, bulk discount as well. It will be in the catalogue. Ink pad holders. I have 50. Oh yes, the storage. I have it all. Yes. Yes, they do. It's called Stampin' Storage, and it stacks. They're in 5 high, and it's modular, so you can buy as many or as much as you want and stack them all. They do holders for your ink pads. On this side of the holder, you can also put your Stampin' Right markers or your watercolour pencils if you've got them. There's like an indentation where they go in. There's a section that you can buy that holds your blends. There's a section that's a solid section, so you can put ribbons, spools and things in there. I got the gist of what you meant, Justine. It's all in the catalogue or on my website. It's called Stampin' Storage. If you go to my website and click on my Stampin' Up shop, and in the search box just type Stampin' Storage, and it should come up. And as I say, you can stack it. It's modular, so you can form it to how you want. I can't remember if I've done a blog post on it, but when I did that video that said about my craft room recently when I moved, you should be able to see it on my desk. Do they do ink pad only? Ink pad only storage, yes. Like I say, it's modular, so you buy whatever you want. If you can't find it, email me, Justine, and I'll send you a link. I'm just having a drink of my juice. Right, has anybody got any questions before I go? Can't see any questions coming through. Just going to put the cover back on my mat while I'm waiting. I had my ink pads in a tub, but a few leaked. Okay, well these basically store flat. I just can't get at mine at the moment because mine are stacked 10 high. But like I say, if you go to the kind of little mini craft room tour I did when I first moved in this room a few months ago, when I moved everything into one room, you should be able to see it on my desk how I've got mine. Mikel is saying, thanks Apple Lover for another encouraging, informative and inspirational session. You are awesome and appreciated from this side of the world. Oh, you're welcome, thank you. Is it Sweden, I think you said, didn't you? Thank you for all your help as always, that's fine. My web address, I'll put it on screen for you. It should show up in a few minutes if it's not already shown up. Any last questions or comments before I go? Mandy G saying great session. Ashley, thank you. Carmen is saying thank you for your time. You're welcome. There you go. So there's the web address. Yes, Sweden, I thought it was, but I am a bit rubbish with my memory, so. And for Stampin' Up products, I can only sell to people that live in the UK, Austria, France, Germany or the Netherlands, unfortunately. For my cutting files, which is also on my website, they're digital downloads, so they can go to anybody anywhere in the world. Oh, so Mikel's saying, but born and raised in the USA. Okay, but you live in Sweden now. Fab. Right, I can't see any other questions or anything coming up, so unless anything pops up in the next couple of seconds, I'm going to say Happy New Year to everybody. Stay safe as always. And hopefully I'll see you and speak to you all next Sunday.